Hello, my dear friends. How are you all? I hope you all are good and fine. Okay, so my dear friends, you are very welcome in our lecture number 6, Introduction to Trigonometry. Okay, so my dear friends, I hope you will enjoy this lecture, and again this lecture is going to be very amazing. So my dear friends, you have to be listen very carefully. Okay, yeah, so without wasting the time, let's start. Yes, so today we are going to discuss triangle identities. What? Yes, triangle identities. So in previous lecture, we saw that trigonometric identities, but in this lecture we are going to discuss triangle identities, means sine, cosine and tangent rule. Okay, so now what is triangle identities? What is triangle identities? So the trigonometric identities are the identities which they are only applied for the right angle triangle. Okay, so trigonometric identities are only applicable for right angle triangle. Okay, so trigonometric identities are only applicable for the right angle triangle, but now we have some identities which are applicable all the triangle, which are applicable for all the triangles. So those identities are called triangle identities. Are called what? Triangle identities. So we can say that if the identities or equations are applicable for all the triangles, are not just for right angle triangle. Okay, for all the triangles and not just for right angle triangle, not just for right angle triangle, then they are called triangle identities. Okay, my dear friends, so I hope you understand these things. So what are triangle identities? So triangle identities are applicable for all the triangles, not just for right angle triangle, for all the triangles. Okay, so I hope you understand this point. So now, so the triangle identities, so triangle identities triangle identities are of three types. So there are three triangular identities. What? First is sine law. First is sine law. Second is cosine law. Okay, and the third one is tangent law. Okay, so these are the triangular identities. We will see the detailed description of these identities, okay, in the next. Yes. So now we are going to discuss sine law, means law of sines definition. Okay. So what is law of sines? Let's see that. Yes. So the law of sines definition is that law of sines define the ratio of sides of a triangle and their respective sine angles are equivalent to each other. Okay. So what is law of sines? So it is defined as it is a ratio of sides. It is a ratio of sides of a triangle, and their respective sine angles, which are equivalent to each other. Okay, don't worry, we will see the formula of the sine law. Okay, the other name of this law are, we can say it is also sine law. Okay, sine rule and sine formula. And what? Sine formula. Okay, so the law of sine is used to find the unknown angle or the unknown side of the oblique triangle. So the oblique triangle is defined as, what is oblique triangle? So the oblique triangle is defined as any triangle which is not right angled triangle. Okay, which is not right triangle. Okay, I hope you get this point. So the law of sine should work with at least two angles and its respective side measurement at a time. Okay, so I hope you understand this point. So what is the use of this law? So the use of is of law. So the use of this law is to find the unknown angle and the unknown side of the oblique triangle. Now what is oblique triangle? Oblique triangle. What is oblique triangle? Oblique triangle. It is defined as any triangle which is not right triangle, So except right triangle, all the triangles are oblique triangles. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these points. So now what is the formula? Okay, so now we are going to see the formula of this law. So the formula is, let's suppose we have a triangle randomly which is not right triangle. Okay, we have A, B and C. Okay, and we have sides A, B and C. Okay, this is angle A, this is angle capital B, and this is angle capital C. So now, so the formula is A upon sine of A is equals to B upon sine of angle B is equals to C upon sine of angle C. This is the sine law formula. Okay, so this is the law of sine. I hope you get this point. So in the triangle, side A divides by the sine of angle A is equals to the side B divides by the sine of angle B, which is also equals to side C divided by the sine of angle C. So my dear friends, I hope you understand this concept, what is sine law. Okay, so now let's move on. So we use the sine rule to find unknown lengths or unknown angles of a triangle. It is also called sine rule, sine law, or sine formula. Okay, while finding the unknown angles of a triangle, the law of sine formula can also be written as, it can also be written as like this: sine capital A divided by small a. Capital A represent the angle and small a it is represent the side. Sine B upon B, sine C upon C. So this is the another formula. We can written as it is also. So in this case, the fraction is interchange. It means that sine of capital A divided by small a, instead of taking A upon sine of A. Okay. So my dear friends, I hope you understand this point. So now we are going to prove sine law. Okay. So now for this, we need a right angle triangle to prove this statement, as the trigonometric function which are mostly defined in the terms of this type of triangle only. So for this we are just only using the right triangle. So we have like this, we have a triangle like this. This is A, this is B, and this is C. Okay, and this is side A, this is side B, and this is side C. Okay, now draw a perpendicular. This is a perpendicular CD, okay, which is perpendicular at AB. Then CD is H. CD we have H. H is the height of this triangle. So now, so this H means this line, this CD line is separate this triangle ABC in two right angle triangle. What is CDA and CDB? Okay, there are two right triangle, first and second. Okay, now we have to prove what? We have to show that A upon B is equals to sine A upon sine B. Okay, so now let's start. So in triangle CDA, okay, in this triangle we know that sine A is what? Sine A is perpendicular upon hypotenuse. And what is perpendicular? This is H. And what is hypotenuse? This is B. Okay, we have hypotenuse is what? B. Okay, don't confuse this abbreviation. This H is represent height and this B is represent side. Okay, yes, so we have this. And in triangle CDB, sine B is equals to what is? Perpendicular upon hypotenuse. And in this case, perpendicular is same as H and hypotenuse is different, which is A. Okay, so this is our first equation and this is our second equation. Okay, my dear friends, now divide equation 1 and second, first and second. So this will become sine A upon sine B, which is equals to H upon B divided by H upon A. So this will become H upon B. When we do it reciprocate, we get A upon H, and this H will be cancelled. We get A upon B. So we have sine A divided by sine B is equals to A upon B. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand this. Yes, so this is our required result. we can say has proved. Okay, I hope you get this point. And similarly we can prove what? We can prove that sin B upon sin C is equals to B by C. Okay, similarly we can prove this also, and so on for any pair of the angles and their opposite sides. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Okay, so now, so the final sine formula is, okay, so now we know that A upon sin A is equals to B upon sin B is equals to C upon sin C. Okay, and it can be written as sin A upon A, sin B upon B, sin C upon C, or it may be written as A ratio B ratio C is equals to sin A ratio sin B ratio sin C. Okay, or it may be written as A upon B is equals to sin A upon sin B, or it also may be written as B upon C is equals to sin B upon sin C. Okay, my dear friends, so I hope you understand these things. So it denotes that if we divide side by the sine of angle A, it is equal to the division of side B by the sine of angle B, and also equal to the division of side C by the sine of angle C, or the side of a triangle are to one another in the same ratio as the sine of their opposite angle. So sine A is a number and A is a length. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So now let's come on application of sine law. So what are the applications of the sine law? Okay, so the trigonometric ratios such as sine, cosine, tangents are the prime functions, as you know, that are used to find the unknown angles or sides of a right triangle. So the application of sine law are as it can be used to compute the other sides of a triangle when two angles and one sides are what? Two angles and one side is given. So first important use is it can be used to compute the other sides of a triangle when two angles and one side is given. Okay, I hope you understand this thing. When two sides and one non-included angles are given, it is also compute this. Okay, so same. So the sine law is used to find the unknown angles or unknown side. Okay, so as per the law, we know if A, B and C are the length of three sides of a triangle, and A, B and C are what? Are the sides of triangle, and angle A, angle B and angle C are what? Are the angles of triangle. Okay, so with the help of the formula A upon sin A is equals to B upon sin B is equals to C upon sin C, we can easily find the value of other unknown. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Yes. So now, law of sines uses. So the law of sines is generally used to find the unknown angles or sides of a triangle. So this law can be used if certain combination of measurement of a triangle are given, like first is ASA criteria. First is what? ASA criteria. In this, let's suppose we have given two angles and included sides to find the unknown sides. Okay, this is used when we have two angles and included side and we have to find the unknown side. It is used when we have two angles and included side. And we have to find the unknown side. So that we use this ASA criteria. Second is double AS criteria. Now this criteria is used when we have two angles and one non-included side. When we have two angles and non-included sides. Okay, and we have to find the unknown side, so we can use this criteria. So these two criteria will provide a unique solution, as AA's and ASA method are used to prove the congruence of triangles. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these. So in ambiguous case, like if a triangle have two sides and the angle opposite to them are known, then there could be three possibilities. What are the possibilities? First possibility is that there is no such triangle. Okay. Second possibility is there are two different types of triangle. Second is that there are two different triangles. Or third possibilities may be, or there is exactly one such triangles. Okay, my dear friends, so now let's move on. So now, law of sines in real life. Okay, now we are comparing this to the real life. So in real life, the law of sine is used in engineering or to measure the angle of tilt is used. It is used in engineering. Okay, and to measure the angle of tilt okay, and it is used in astronomy. It is also used in what? Astronomy. Okay, my dear friends, and to measure the distance between planets and stars and to measure the distance between planets and stars. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand this point. Also it is also used to the measurement of navigation is possible. The measurement of navigation is possible using this law. Also the measurement of navigation is possible using what? Using the law of science. So my dear friends, so these are the uses in real life of law of science. I hope my dear friends you understand this concept, you understand these rules, you understand the uses, applications, formulas, proof of formulas. Okay my dear friends. So now let's move on to the second law, law of cosine. To the law of cosine. So my dear friends, law of cosine states that in trigonometry, the law of cosines are known as cosine rule, okay, or cosine formula, okay. It may be called as, in trigonometry, the law of cosines, also known as cosine rule or cosine formula. Okay, so basically the law of cosines relates the length of triangles to the cosines of one of its angles. It means it states that if the length of two sides and angle between them is known for a triangle, then we can determine the length of the third side. Okay, let's suppose we have a triangle like this. Okay, so we have a triangle A, B and C. Let's suppose this is A, this is B and this is C. So this is angle A, this is angle B and this is angle C. Okay my dear friends, so now here is, so let's suppose this is A, means CB is what? This is A and this is B length and this is C. Okay, now if we have, okay, if we have these two sides, okay, if we know the length of CB and AC, okay, and the included angle, if we know the value of included angle, okay, then with the help of cosine rule or cosine formula, we can easily find the value of C. Okay, how we can find it? Let's see. So we have a direct formula which is C square is equals to A square plus B square, okay, minus 2AB cos of angle C, okay, means this angle. Okay, so with the help of this formula we can easily find the unknown side of the triangle. Okay, so this is, yes, cosine formula. I hope you get this point. Okay, A, B and C, they are what? They are sides of triangle, A, B, C. Okay, and here is angle C is what? This is angle between A and B. Okay, means we are talking about this angle. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now let's see some formulas. Okay, so here is, now we can easily find, now let's suppose we know the value of B and C, okay, and we have to find A. We have to find the value of A. Okay, so how we can find it? So we can find it a square is equals to b square plus c square minus twice of bc minus twice of bc into cos a. Here is a is what? Capital A is the angle A. Okay, angle A between the side AC and AB, means between the side between the B and C. Okay, so now similarly we can easily find b square. So b square is what? A square plus c square minus twice of AC into cos of B. Okay, here is cos of B, which is the angle between A and C. Okay, I hope you get this point, and you know very well c square is a square plus b square minus twice of AB cos C. Okay, so from these formulas we can find cos of A. Okay, so what is cos of A? So cos of A is, so if we shift this term to the LHS, okay, so we get twice of BC cos A, and we have to shift A square to the RHS, so we get B square plus C square minus A square divided by, yes, twice of BC. Similarly, we can easily find cos B. So cos B is what? A square plus C square minus B square divided by twice of AC. Okay, and we can easily find cos of C. So cos of C is what? A square plus B square minus C square divided by twice of AB. Twice of AB. Okay, I hope you get this point. Okay, so now let's suppose out of these three angles, if out of these three angles, means either angle 1, angle B or angle C will become 90 degree, will become 90 degree, then we can say that the triangle is what? Right angle. So we can justify it as, now let's suppose, here is, now in this expression let's suppose angle A is 90 degree. Okay, now let angle A is 90 degree. Okay, we have an expression like this: a square is equals to b square plus c square minus twice of bc cos of A. Okay, and here A is 90 degrees, so this will become b square plus c square minus twice of bc into cos of 90. Okay, and we know that cos of 90 is what? Yes, cos of 90 is 0. So we can write here as b square plus c square minus, this term will become 0. So we get a square is equals to b square plus c square. So this is what? This is Pythagoras theorem. Okay, yes, here you can see in this, if let's suppose angle A is become 90 degree, okay, then A is what? Then BC is hypotenuse. BC is hypotenuse, and these other two sides base and perpendicular. Okay, so hypotenuse square is equals to base square plus perpendicular square. So this will become a square is equals to b square plus c square. Okay, now if we take, let's suppose angle B is equals to 90 degree, then this expression will become, here is b square is equals to a square plus c square. In this case angle B is 90 degree. Okay, now if we have angle C is 90 degree, then c square is equals to a square plus b square. So this is the case when angle C is 90 degree. So my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. Okay, yes, so now let's move on. Solving triple S congruency. Okay, so my dear friends, in triple S congruency, we know the length of all the three sides of a triangle. Okay, we know the length of all the three sides of a triangle, and we need to find the measure of the unknown triangles. Unknown, yes, and we need to find the measures of the unknown triangle, therefore unknown angles. Therefore, using the law of cosines, we can find the missing angles. In this case, we know all the three sides, all the what? All the three sides. Okay, all the three sides, and we need to find what? We need to find the measure of unknown angle. We need to find the unknown angle. Okay, so with the help of cosine formula, we can easily find the angle. So how we can find it? So let's suppose we have to find cos of A. Okay, we have to find cos of A, and we know that this is what? This is B square plus C square minus A square divided by twice of BC. Divided by twice of BC. Okay, and we already know cos of A is what? B square plus C square minus A square upon twice of BC. Okay, and in this we know all the sides of a triangle. Okay, similarly we can find cos of B. How we can find it, cos of B? So this is A square plus C square minus B square divided by twice of AC. Okay, and similarly we can find cos of C. Okay, how we can find it? This is A square plus B square minus C square divided by twice of AB. Okay, so if we know all the three sides of a triangle, then we can easily find the unknown angles. Okay, then we can easily find the unknown angles. So now, yes, now we are doing the proof of the cosine law. What? The proof of the cosine law. So now for proving the law of cosines, first of all we have to draw a triangle. Let's suppose this is our triangles. Okay, so this is A, this is B, and this is D. Okay, my dear friends, now we have to draw a perpendicular from point B on AC at point D. Okay, and the sides are, this is side A, okay, and this is AC is side B, this is B, and this is C. Okay, so there are two triangles. This side BD divide this whole triangle into two parts, means triangle 1 and triangle 2, and both the triangles are right angle triangles. So we have two right angle triangles, triangle BDC and triangle BDA. Okay, so in triangle BCD, okay, we can find cos C, means this angle. Cos C, we know that what is cos C? So the cos C is base upon hypotenuse. Means what is base? So we have base is CD, and what is hypotenuse? This CB is hypotenuse, means A. Okay, so we have CD is equals to A cos C. Okay, now we want to find DA. DA. So what is DA? So DA is, we can find DA is as AD minus DC, and we have AD is B minus we have DC is A cos C. Okay, so this is our first equation. This is our what? First equation. Okay, my dear friend. So now in triangle BCD, now we have to find sin C. Sin C is equals to perpendicular upon hypotenuse. What is perpendicular? So the perpendicular is BD. upon hypotenuse is A. So we have BD is equals to A sin C. This is second equation. I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. Okay, so now in triangle ABD, in triangle this second triangle, so in triangle ABD, okay, we know that what? We can write it as AB square is equals to BD square plus AD square. Okay, and we know the value of AB is C square. Okay, and we also know the value of BD. The value of BD is A sin C, so we can put it as A sin C whole square. And we also know the value of AD, which is what? The value of AD is B minus A cos C. What is? B minus A cos C square. Okay, so after solving this, C square is equals to A square sin square C plus B square. Now this is A minus B whole square, so we have to expand this, so we get B square plus A square cos square C minus 2AB cos C. Okay, so now this will become C square. Now in this case we have to take A square sin square C plus A square cos square C plus B square minus twice of AB cos C. Okay, my dear friend, so this will become, now in this case if we take A square as a common, we get sin square C plus cos square C. Okay, and this is B square minus twice of AB cos C. Now this will become A square into sin square C plus cos square C is 1. So this is A square plus B square minus twice AB cos C. So this will become C square. Okay, my dear friends, so this is our required result. Okay, so my dear friends, I hope you understand this, that how to prove this statement. Okay, my dear friend, so I hope you understand these things. So my dear friend, this is enough for today, and we will meet in the next lecture. So thank you very much guys for listening me, and take care and goodbye.